Hello. So today we start a new show. It's called The Man Who Walk the Talk. And our first guest is Santos, Mister Supranational Nepal 2021, and currently National Director of Miss and Mister Supranational Nepal. So Santos, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Luis, for inviting me for this beautiful new concept of supranational. And I'm so excited to be here talking with you. And after it's almost like 10 months that we met, and I think it's 8 months we met, and now we are here talking about some important topic. Thank you so much for inviting me.
For those watching that don't know you yet, so let's do a quick introduce, like for yourself.
Well, I'm a medical doctor. My name is Santosh Upadhyaya, and I studied in one of the premium institute, the Government Institute of Medicine. And when I was practicing my medical degree and when I was working in a village, I thought I come across this platform of pageant. I saw that in the news, and then I thought of chance. And that's how my journey began. And apart from that, currently I'm working as a television presenter at Kantipur Television. It's one of the biggest television, and I do a live show every morning, almost 3 days in a week. Apart from that, I'm working in Nepal Health Research Council as a consultant. So it's more related to research. And I'm also very much interested in politics, and I've been given one good responsibility right now, and I'm working as the spokesperson of Nepal Student Union. It's the largest student union of Nepal, almost 1 million students in that group, and I'm the spokesperson. And there's one good news, and right now I have recently joined my Harvard Medical School course. It is Leadership in Medicine of Southeast Asia. So it just started this Friday, a new
Impressive.
addition to my introduction. So apart from that, I am Mr. Supranational 2021 third, and most importantly, I was the Mr. Influencer, and I really love this subtitle, and I want to carry that legacy.
Impressive, impressive, impressive. How can you hold like so much things at the same time? It's a lot of work.
I don't know, like I just love taking challenges, and I just want to explore my abilities. We have just one life, and if we try, if we think, we can do as much as we can. But if we try to squeeze ourselves or limit ourselves, it's only us who can limit our boundaries. So I just want to explore everything. I fail a lot of time. I'm not telling all those my failure stories, but even after failing, we have to stand up, we have to work again, and we have to fight. And that's how we learn new thing in life.
Of course, you already mentioned it. You are a qualified medical doctor. Tell us how you got the Mister Supranational stage.
Okay, there's a long story. Can I tell this in like I'll try to sort it down. I said I was working in my village. It is almost like 2 days travel from Kathmandu, the place where I live, and it's one of the rural category district of Nepal. There are like 9 districts in Nepal which falls under very underdeveloped regions. So I belong to that place, and I was working there as a doctor. And when I was coming to Kathmandu on my vacation, and then I came across one news where the previous Mr. Nepal was coming back from Mr. World, and he was returning to Nepal, and there was a post from Nepal Tourism Board, and I was traveling on a bus. I had nothing to do. So I scrolled down and I went to the news, and after reading all the things, I visited the Mr. World site, and then I visited other pageants, and I realized that a lot of people were inspiring, were doing some social work in their community, were well educated, were well behaved, were well mannered. It actually matters more than just being a model. And till that time, I was not aware of anything about passing. And I came to Kathmandu and I find out a competition. It was Mr. Nepal, and they had like 2 months time for the grand finale, and I prepared myself. I was really really fat at that time. I was 86 kg, I think. I transformed myself and I became 72 by the time I was on the final stage in 2 months. That's like one good achievement. And apart from that, I was very confident about my speaking skills and my social projects because I was doing it since 2011. So it was 10 years of history for me to explain about my work. And then I won the uh, title there, and I was preparing for my international journey. And because of COVID, none of the international competitions were happening. And at the same time, I came across Mister Supranational that Andre started. So I was concerned, like being a national winner, shall I participate in this competition again, or I should directly go to Mister Supranational? And I had no sponsor, so I thought of winning this and going to Supranational. And it was another big journey. Luckily, I won the first Mister Supranational, and I was given the franchise of Mister Supranational. And then I started preparing for my Supranational journey. And now here I
Wow.
am, the third runner-up of 2021, the title that I will always carry on my shoulder. And then I
Wow.
thought of doing something more with this title. Yeah,
It's about how you may, as you mentioned, it's about more than being a model. It's about being a voice and be a sincere
exactly.
voice where you can share and you can, identify all the people and especially, people that are, as you mentioned, your whole adventure and your whole uh, how you made all those things. It's about the we all have like obstacles that you need to in order to move forward you need to or turn it around like the I always said that you have two options, or you can climb it or you can just like go around it and keep forward, but you have to keep your
Exactly.
north completely. This is the way that I want to do it, and if you have anything in front of you, you have to or just climb it or just go around, but you have to go in the same direction.
Exactly. Like I said earlier, there will be a lot of challenges on your path. Well, when I say like I went to Superstars and I won Superstars, I went to Mr. Supranational and I was the third runner. I haven't told the inside story. I was preparing without a national director. I had no sponsors, like very few. Only few clothes. Apart from that, like I had to design all my clothes with one of my younger sisters. She's still studying the designing course. She's not even a designer now, so she's still studying. So she was my designer. I uh, brought together a lot of people, a lot of newbies. I would say none of them were professionals. Even my photographer, everyone. So I have to gather that energy. I have to work together with them. I have to think of myself, and I planned everything by myself. Just 2 months before going to Supranational, I had to undergo a surgery of my knee. And for like 2 months, I could not do workout. When I was in Supranational, I was there only with diet, no workout. And it's one of the major part of beauty pageant. Ultimately, it's a beauty pageant. So I could not be the best form of myself physically. But because of my willpower, I remember doing the fitness challenge, and I was in top 5 of even fitness challenge even after that surgery because I had that willpower. And a lot of people came and told me, and I still remember them whispering in my ears, Santosh, it's enough, just leave it. We know you can do it, just leave it because your leg is hurting. And then I stopped.
Wow.
So if you are driven with a goal, then every obstacles you can challenge them, you can cross them, but the willpower, the inner strength, and believe in yourself, it is very important. Like if you don't believe in yourself, nobody will. A lot of people used to comment on me that if you were tall, you could have win Supranational, or you could have been in top 5. And I made one video at the time. It's not about the genetics, it's not about the height, it's about the values that you carry. And if I'm not confident about my height, then definitely the judges won't be, because the physical attributes that we carry is all the genetics from different regions. Like people from some country are relatively shorter, people from some countries are relatively taller. It's just about height that you can measure it at the airport and just declare a winner. It's not just about height, it's not just about physique, it's not just about looks. It's a combination. Pageant is a combination, and they look through your heart. Sometimes they might like not find enough way to find out like how you are, but the judges, they have been doing it since years. The organizers, they have been doing it since years. They know exactly what they're looking for. So if you are that package, the physical attributes are just the numbers. If it is only about winning a competition, then maybe you can win with all those things, like with physical looks and everything. But if you want to be the winner for the lifetime, then you have to give it back to the society throughout the life. And for that, you need a good heart, you need a good soul, which can contribute to the world. We have a lot of winners, we have a lot of people who have succeeded and who have been like good in education and other field, but we only remember those who have given back to the society. So ultimate winners are those who can actually utilize that platform, we can actually carry the legacy of that title. So I'm really proud that the winner of my batch was really amazing guy. You are the really good successor to him. So Supranational, being a team and being a family of Supranational, a member of family, I really feel proud the way you guys are doing things and the way we are all working together. I really love this part of Supranational.
Why did a medical doctor, like a doctor right now that you already have all your success and you have created so much things in your life? How would you like? What is so important to you to be in a competition like this one?
Yeah, that's very interesting question, Liz. Actually, I became medical doctor because I wanted to serve the community. My ultimate goal was to work for the people. But when I was in medical school, I realized that there are a lot of problems with the policy making and a lot of problems with the service delivery. So I realized that there is lack of leadership in my country and in the entire world. So I was more interested in leadership. And when I was working, I was looking after people, I used to check somewhere around 80 to 100 patients in a day someday and minimum 50 in a day. I was doing good to the society. But then I realized realized that the platform like this, and especially supranational, this platform actually gives you a platform to speak more, to give a voice to the society. For example, if I was a medical doctor and if I wanted to make a voice, nobody would listen to me, like maybe very few. But this platform is so important and it's just not being used to its full scale. And I realized that being on this stage, being answerable, being questionable, and utilizing this platform, you can be the you know voice of a lot of voiceless people. You can be the representative of a lot of people, and you can bring a bigger change just by being on that stage. And I think it's the shortest way. And if you have the quality in a short time, you'll get the hype, you'll get the fame. And it's up to you how you are going to utilize. And my only motive was to work on a larger scale. I was working for my society. I was doing the lot of health camps. There was earthquake in Nepal. Built 15 houses in one of the villages. We did a lot of relief campaigns. I was doing it as a medical doctor. And I also started my library project with tree plantation. And my from the ground up project was also plant your books. And when I talked this thing in supranational, now I have made like 7 libraries. I've already planted more than 20,000 trees. So this platform has given me the opportunity for myself to do good to the larger population. I think that was the only reason I was participating in pageant. My sole objective was to contribute more to the society. And how I can do that? Because people will trust me more now, people will know me more now, and people will expect more from me, and that will also drive me to do more. So these are the few reasons I wanted to join pageantry. And I can still work as a medical doctor, but I'm giving more. And I'm the example that beauty pageant can be a best platform to give back to the society. And I was not wrong when I was participating because I'm very thankful to Supranational.
It's incredible because you're using it. Of course, you have all this talent, all this as a person that you have been working hard on yourself, and you have so much that you want to expose it. And the way to expose it, it's using this platform. So it's great. So you're not just like you're not you're not holding the light for yourself.
Yeah, it's same for you. Like the way you were doing for the society and now you can do for the society is completely different. You get all those access overnight. And I think beauty pageants should be utilized in that way. And why supranational? Because there was this social aspect as well. It's not just a beauty pageant, it's a beauty pageant with a cause, aspiration, and inspiration. And it is some value. So it's not just a beauty pageant for me.
Okay, Santos, could you share with us some of the projects that you have worked on and you are working on right now?
Yeah, sure, Luis. I mentioned a few of them earlier, but the major project that I'm working on right now is the Plant Your Books. It's a very simple concept. We people actually are learning a lot of with books. We're using the paper each and every day. And all those papers, it comes from plants, it comes from trees. And when I was working in my village, I have a small story that I'd like to mention here. When I was working there was one girl, and she was studying agriculture. And she was having a small dispute with her father that she has exams next day. And she need time to study, but she was serving us food because she works. And I talked to her and I said, like, bring the books, I can teach you because it's more relatable to my topic. And she said, I don't have books. I asked her to bring it from library the next day. She said, we don't have books in the library. And I said, ask with your friends or anyone. And she said, even our teachers don't have books. So it hit me so hard that I was working there as a doctor, but the students of that place were studying, were going to schools without books, and they were appearing the exams without books. So I started collecting books from Kathmandu, and when I was doing a health camp, I took some around like 1,500 books, and I went to the principal and I donated them. And the principal started crying. He said like he tried to get to a lot of authorities but could not get the books in time. And I was there taking all those books free of cost. I was spending a little bit on transportation. So after donating that, I started thinking more about it. In our world, there are places where we have everything available on internet. We have access to everything that we want to learn, but also there are some places where there are no books at all. So another part is we are throwing all those books where we are wasting a lot of books as garbage at cities. But when you go to village, they don't have that book. So I started thinking about connecting this some way. And I started doing more research and I realized if we cut down one tree, you can make 16 reams of book. One ream means 500 pages. So just 16 books from one tree. And if you have to produce 1 ton of books, you have to cut down 24 trees. But if you reuse or recycle them, you can only cut 3 trees and make 1 ton of paper. You can save like 21 trees. And we
Wow.
all educated being on this planet, we are responsible for cutting down those trees. In my life, I've read more than 5,000 books. So I am responsible for cutting somewhere around like 1,500 books. So 1,500 trees. So even me, just single person. It's same with you, it's same with a lot of people. Like, a PhD scholar is responsible for cutting more trees. So how can we plant back those trees or make it more green? We all talked about go green. And when I researched more, the first industry that contributes to global warming through carbon dioxide emission and chlorofluorocarbon emission is one is automobile, one is fashion industry, the textile industry, and the third is paper industry. So being an peasant, we have to advocate about this fashion industry as well, because we talk about a lot of climate change issues and a lot of green things and sustainable development goals and a lot of things, but we have been contributing to it every day without realizing. So my project was based on reusing the books. I used to collect the books in Kathmandu, take them to the villages and establish a library there. And the students of those schools have to plant 5 trees in a year so that they can get practical. So one who plant all the 5 trees will get full marks in their practical exams. So that is how I thought of encouraging the young people, encouraging the students in tree plantation, and also reusing those books can reduce the emission of carbon dioxide, because if you throw those papers in landfills, it produces methane gas, which is 21 times more potent chlorofluorocarbon than carbon dioxide. So it is disaster. We have been doing it every day. So I just wanted to reduce this burden. And from the point when that girl was serving us food and fighting with her parents, I started this project, and Plant Your Books is now, we have 7 libraries, we have planted 20,000 trees, and now I want to make it a global project, because I think it's the problem with every country. We have developed countries, we have developing countries, we can just connect them. And for me, Supranational was the platform, because I was there with like brothers from 34 countries and sisters from more than 70, 80 countries, So this is a platform. Why not use this? And it's all about advocacy, and it's all about networking. So my next target is I want to plant 1 million trees in World Environment Day in coming year. I think in 2024, because we need a lot of preparation for that. I've already talked with the armed police force, PAPSON, the education consultancy, and the police department, the army, and all of them. And we are going to make it one project, and which will be, if we succeed, which will be the Guinness World Record of tree plantation. And I just want to do this not for the record, but to inspire other countries. I want someone to take a lead and plant 2 millions, do those things in their countries. Ultimately, it's our earth. I want everyone to break my record. So I just want to start it with that way, so that you can hit it in a
Wow.
global way. And I'm sure that Supranational is always there. We have this team always there. When I will be doing this project, I will need help from, like, maybe why only in Nepal? We can do this plantation all over the world. And why Nepal? Why only in Nepal that we have to establish this library? Maybe in 10 years or 15 years, we'll replace all of these things with the digital education. But for now, we are producing the papers, and it is being still processed. So why not reduce this burden? And why not contribute to the greenhouse effect in a better way? Why not reduce this global warming to the pageantry? So this was my project, and now I'm still working on that. And I'm uh, the reason I was in Supranational, it is working really good for me, because whenever I go to some people and I approach them and I say them I'm Mr. Nepal and I'm Mr. Supranational, third runner-up, I get a different response. It's the same concept, but people react to it in a different way. And now I'm creating this impact, and I think slow and steady, I can work on this project. Apart from that, I have started one project today. It's a campaign. We want to send clothes to Syria and Turkey for the earthquake they have been facing. And it was the situation back in Nepal in 2015. And when I was working, I used to visit a lot of villages. I have seen people staying out of their home the whole night in cold winter. You can see this, like, this is the situation of Nepal right now. I'm wearing a jacket. In this cold, freezing cold, they used to stay out of their home because they could not go inside. They cannot buy it from anywhere. Their house is all fallen off. So even a small biscuit or even a small piece of food and piece of cloth means a lot. No matter you are a millionaire or billionaire, when there is a natural disaster, you cannot buy things. You don't have access of roads. You don't have access to malls because even they have been fallen. So right now it's a time to come together with Turkey, and from our medical education association, Nepal Medical Association, we are standby to go to Turkey anytime they call, and we have been in constant communication. And they say, like, there are a lot of doctors right now, and they want to just schedule it in a different way. So our team is already in standby, and we have been already sending some stuff through different organizations. And I'm doing this initiative from my own organization, so that we can send maybe like 1,000 pieces of clothes, and that means a lot to them. And this is one more project. And apart from this, I'm also involved in leadership right now. So through leadership, I just want to do new things. I know our leadership need a transition, and they need example, because a lot of people are frustrated. I think in every country, a lot of youth are frustrated about the government or the way the leaders are working. So I think it is our time to take the lead and try to change. Maybe we can bring the positive change in coming future. So apart from that, I occasionally go to the health camps, and the free health camps are something where I can work, and I Uh, I'm working as an influencer in Nepal, and whenever it's a project of a school, I go for free. Whenever it's a project of students, I go for free. Whenever it's an organization, I ask for the payment. So that is how I'm contributing. I just want to uh, give it more to the people, especially to the students.
The idea of from the ground up to find passion projects that you can invest your time in it, it should become natural and it should be not only be done for competition. So, what advice would you give to the candidates preparing to represent their country this year?
Yeah, it's quite important in pageant. Not all of the pageants they need the cause, but those pageants who are having this cause is from the ground up. For me, going to supranational and having that confidence is because of from the ground up. For me, just if you are just a model, you somehow contribute to the society, but a lot of people are watching you. A lot of people follow you and follow your footsteps. So if you are in pageant, you should have something to give them. Just a lesson maybe. If someone is following you and you are very rude and you are very, uh, famous, then people will think that being rude is good for being famous. But that's not true. So the people who are winning should have those qualities and those cause. And in beauty pageant, I think a lot of people they try to make a temporary contribution to the society just to show in the pageant. I've seen that. Like I'm not blaming anyone. They are really good people. Uh, some of the projects don't seem that genuine to me, and some way they are contributing even maybe for like 2 months or 3 months, the time they are working on that project. But if they do that truly from their heart, there is no happiness bigger than giving back to the society. And I've realized that when I work as a doctor and when I treat a patient, it's a work. But for me, the happiness that person feels when they go out of my hospital, the happiness their family perceives, it is everything. You cannot earn anything more than that. It's the blessing that you can earn. It's the highest degree that you can earn. And if you are going and sharing your bite with someone hungry, then nothing can beat that happiness. For example, I was doing this project share and wear in my hospital, because in my hospital there comes a lot of people from different region of Nepal, and some of them come in emergency without carrying the clothes. Some came from the hotter zones, and Kathmandu is relatively cold place. And when I was working in emergency room, I realized that a lot of people they used to shiver the whole night in cold. And then I started a project where there was share and wear. You can go and put your clothes, and people who want it can just bring and wear. And it worked before COVID really well. And that happiness was everything for me. I think in pageant also, the front of the ground up from the ground up project in supranational is the biggest mileage and biggest asset of supranational, because it's not just producing winners, it's producing humans, the best humans with heart, with soul. You can find good looking people, a lot of good looking people in the street, but
Yeah.
having that good values and morals, and how you can differentiate that from the projects like this. And it should not be a big project. It doesn't need a lot of investment and like large project. You just need a small idea or a small investment of your time and your soul, so that you can bring that changes to the society. So for me, from the ground up project is one of the biggest asset of supranational. And the people who are preparing for the pageants, and if you want to join supranational, make sure you have that valid, small, reasonable cause which can bring changes to like few lives, but positive impact. That is enough. You don't need to bring change to the entire world in like nobody can do that overnight just from one platform. It's a small contribution, but should be a genuine one.
But it's still, we're making a huge impact. It's like there is this phrase that I heard that is called that even when a butterfly uh, even a butterfly can create, an effect. That effect is gonna make an impact in the whole world, and even the whole, the small things that you are seeing in the world and in life, that they are creating impacts and difference, even though they don't look uh, like a huge thing at the moment.
True,
It's a
true.
step
It's
by
like
step.
very
that you-
small things.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's very small things
that's
that
all.
matters. It should be genuine.
You also decided to take on the role of national director of Miss and Mister Supranational in our country, Nepal. So, why do you feel it is important to invest your time in this way, and what would you like to achieve with this platform?
Okay, so this is quite interesting. Like the very simple reason is when I was participating, uh, the organization that I was working with, I didn't get enough support from them. And every time a winner goes and winner try to do something for their country, for the world, I think they need enough support. And being on that platform, I realized that it's not just me. One person from Nepal comes and like in the very first time was in the finals, and then there was no one from my country. Be a failure for me. So I decided to take on a lead for Mr. Supranational, and I had promised myself that whoever is going to represent Nepal, I am going to support them. They should be there with their 100%. There should not be any financial crisis for them. There should not be any motivational, demotivational factors for them. There should not be any bullying or pulling legs or anything for them. So I have seen that in pageants, like a lot of countries struggles because of their national director. So I want to be that national director who is completely supportive, is always pushing, so that we can bring out more from those talented contestants. So even in Nepal, we don't call them contestants; we call them talents. So each one of them have different talent. Each one of them have different roles. So all our participants are talents. And apart from that, I also got this responsibility of Miss Supranational as well. And it was a little bit of tough time for me because we had really short period of time when we get the license of Mister Supranational, and we have to do the our very first program, but we did it really well, and I'm sure that my winners are really satisfied. And this year we're getting more uh, contestants and talents, and I'm certain that my goal of sending people with their full preparation can bring more titles to Nepal, also keep more to the society, because I know there are a lot of people better than me, better than us, who don't even try to get into pageants because they have been observing pageants in a different way. So I think we have this responsibility to bring more people into pageants, and also let pageant explore them, and let pageant bring out the goodness in them and spread it to all. So I'm taking this charge of national director, and it's really tough. I have to invest a lot of time and even money last year, and this year I'm like running out of budget. But I think the way our team is working and the way we are motivated will definitely get through it, because we have been doing this since I started my journey. So I'm always a go-getter person. So this is a big challenge, but I'm certain that we're going to prove that Nepal has those qualities, and I'm going to identify them.
Okay, Santos, thank you so much for your time and for sharing with us all what you're doing, which is incredible. And guys, we can follow us on YouTube, Miss and Mister Supranational, and we'll be continuing this show, The Man Who Walked the Talk. And thank you so much for all you that are here watching us.
Thank you so much. And I'm really, really thankful that you gave me this opportunity to start with this talk show. And guys, please subscribe Mr. and Miss Supranational, and you can watch more content from our team. Thank you.